Welcome all. In the last tutorial, we saw how the TypeDB loader tool can be used to import data into TypeDB. Now in this tutorial, we will see how a custom TypeDB script generator can be developed and used to generate the script that's needed to populate the TypeDB based on the input files that you have. Now in this example, I have developed the tool using C#, Visual Studio.NET, and a third-party library called FileHelpers, which you can see from here. So I have used this library to read from the various CSV files and generate the script that would be needed to populate or import the data into the TypeDB database. Now in this example, we will see how we can load the data into the traditional TypeDB example database, which contains customer, persons, and calls. So these are the various input files that I have. I first want to show you what the company file contains. Okay. Now I have two companies. One is called the free calls A and free calls B. And this is what the data number of cuts I have for the second entity, which is the person. So I have two persons and these are their phone numbers. And A, B is the first name, last name of the first person. C, D is the first name, last name of the second person. Both of them belong to the same city called Chennai. And this is their age, 55, 52. And I have another file which actually contains the relationship between the two. So now if you see, the free calls A contains the first customer with the phone number 911234567890. The free calls B company contains the other customer. And similarly, if you go to the calls, right, these are the values that are actually present in this particular input file, calls. The phone numbers and the date on which the call has been made and the duration the call exists. So I have actually, two calls, two companies, two persons. Each company has one person as a customer, and both of them have made a call to each other. A has called to C, and C also has called A. Now, how are we going to load this particular data? And let's look at the code written in .NET. Now, first, as for FileHelpers, depending on the delimiter, okay, you have to put the delimiter record as a comma for FileHelpers to understand that, right, the particular input file, right, contains a list of fields which are separated by commas. Now I have to declare this class, person. Now if you remember, the person has the following attributes: phone number, first name, last name, and city and age. Similarly, company contains one attribute called name. And then there is a customer person wherein we actually have the name of the company and the phone number. And then there is a class. In the class, right, in the calls, we have these attributes. Phone number 1 makes a call to phone number 2, which started at a specific date and went for a specific duration. So we are declaring all these classes, and we will use these classes to read the respective CSV files. Now, similarly, right now, to write the script that has been generated, right, I am also declaring a class that contains TQR, and it doesn't have any delimiter. So I am simply putting in delimiter record space. Okay. So now, right, I contain declare a string variable str output, which is just blank as of now. And then I am also declaring a variable called str code, so that right now the code for any string variable, right now, for example, I have a first name A. So in that case, right, in the TypeDB script, it has to be, prefix and suffix with a quote, so that right now A in the file goes into the TypeDB script as a double quote, A double quote. Okay. and the end of character, right? At the end of line character, right? We will have a colon towards the end of every line in the TypeDB script to include that in the script generator, right? I am putting this variable. Okay. Now these are the classes I have. Now if you see, I have a function. I have a function called the generate entity name. Now let's go and look at the script that actually use. Now, if you see right now, every entity, right now, you for an entity called company, this is how the data gets generated. This is how the script will look like. Insert at company is a company, and then it will be followed by a comma has whatever attribute followed by the attribute name. Now, to generate the script, right, this is what I do. What I do is I put for any entity you pass, I will include insert dollar symbol the entity name. Now, suppose assuming we are passing customer to this, what we will get insert dollar symbol customer is a customer. So that's what would be returned here. So I will be able to generate this particular portion. Insert dollar company is a company. Okay. Then comes the generate attribute name. Now for remember for every attribute name it starts with a comma. So I start with the comma here. Comma has the attribute name. So in this case right now I will be able to read whether if I want to generate a phone number, first name, last name, city, and the age, right? So all I have to do is pass this phone number, first name, last name, city, and age. So that, right, I will get an output hash phone number, hash first name, comma hash last name, comma hash city, comma hash age. And then all I have to do is, once I do both the steps, right, of course, this is for format string. Remember, for age, I don't know to put the double quotes before and after. But remember, anytime I have a value like now, first name, last name, I will have to put a double quote before and after the value. So for this, I have this particular function format string, wherein any attribute value which is passed, right, I will be able to add a quote before and after that. Now I simply have this main method wherein I'm simply going to call these functions, company, person, customer, person, and calls. Now let's go on and see what these functions do. In the first function, generate company, I'm reading the values from the company.csv file that we saw a few minutes earlier. Now, with this file helpers, right, I will be able to read every record by record. For every variable, every row, right, company in companies. Companies contains all the rows. And for every row, right, I can have a for each loop. For each loop, variable company in companies. Now, this company, right, I will be able to, with that, right, I will be able to access all the fields that are present in the particular file. Now, company has only one field, which is called the name. So what will happen is, first I will be able to call the generate entity name with the value company. That will generate insert at company is a company. Then the generate attribute name. This will generate the second part. Comma has a name, and this will have to generate the third part. Format string company.name. Now I have a company called FreeCalls-A, FreeCalls-B. For these two records, right, this is what I will get. Insert at company is a company, comma has a name, double quote, FreeCalls-A, double quote. And 2 times this loop will be executed. So twice I will have the first time with the FreeCalls-A value and second time with the FreeCalls-B value. So with that, right, this is the TypeDBL statement I will get for the company. Now if you see, this is the script which I generated. Insert at company is a company, has a name, FreeCalls-A, FreeCalls-B. Similarly, right, I can go and do the data for the person as well. So here in person, right, I read the person.csv file. Now remember, the generate entity name, person. So what will generate? Insert at person is a person. Then generate attribute name, phone number. What does it mean? It will generate comma hash phone number and then format string person.phone number. Now in this case, right now, if someone has a phone number 456, it will generate double quote 456. Similarly, first name it will happen, last name it will happen, city it will happen, and age it will happen. Remember, age doesn't have a double quote, so simply we will call the person.age. But otherwise, right, we will always call the attribute with the by calling the format string and supplying the attribute value. So that right now we have the double quotes prefix and suffix. And this is what the person.tql file contains. So if you go and generate the code, right, this is what you have. Insert dollar symbol, at person is a person, has phone number, has first name, last name has city. Now if you see, has age 55, 52. Now that's a prefix or suffix with double quotes. Good. Now we'll go to the other 2%. two functions. Now in this case, right, I have taken a slightly different approach. What I have taken done is I am going and looking at now this is for populating the relationships. Now I'm going and checking how the statement that's used for populating a relationship look like. Now if you see right now, here I have a value, the company name, then I have a value which is called the person, and then right now you simply have the relationship. So which means that I can simply copy the entire statement and replace anytime right now, yeah, the company name with the appropriate value from the file. In this case, right, I will have free calls A, free calls B, and phone number. Now it could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever number, right? So what I'm doing is I'm simply typing this str output match dollar company is a company has a name. I'm putting the symbol hash name hash at customer is a person hash phone number. Then right instead of the value I'm putting this hash phone number hash and then keeping the rest of the statement as it is because they don't require any modification. Now what I'm doing is I read the values from the file. So now once I read the name and the phone number, I'm replacing the hash name hash and the hash phone number hash with the values from the input file, and this is how the customer person file will look like. Now this is the customer person article looks like. It has replaced the phone number company with the free calls A, free calls B, and it has replaced the phone number right with the actual values. Then I have the remaining script wherein now right now it's just the whatever was there earlier, no replacement is there. Similarly, right now I can go on and generate the fourth statement which is for calls. So for calls, right, what I'm doing is simply match at caller is a person, has phone number 1, at callee is a person, has phone number 2. Now remember, these are values to be replaced. So I'm prefixing and suffixing with the hash symbol. Insert, here it doesn't require modification. Then finally, right, it has an attribute at and similarly it also has an attribute hash duration hash. So I'm going to replace all these values. At hash phone number 1, phone number 2, hash standard at, and hash duration. All these will be values from the input file, and this is what I will get. Calls TQ. Match caller is a person, phone number, callee is a person, phone number, and both the persons have made a call to each other. And these are the dates and these are the duration, 55 and 52. Now let's go on and see how the data gets loaded into the TypeDB. Now, right now, all the TQL statements that I have generated, right, I have executed the statements one by one, and committed the data. Now that I have inserted the company, free calls A, free calls B, and the person, with the first name and last name AB, and with the first name and last name C and D, and linking A with the free calls A and the C with the free calls B. And I also have generated a couple of records to ensure A calls C and the C calls A. So now I have entered all the data and I have committed the data. Let me go and check how the result looks like. I'm executing the statement match $x is a thing to retrieve all the values. Now this is what I get. I have the I have the person 2, and both of them are related to the company, and both the companies have a name, and these are the various attributes they have: first name, last name, age, and phone number. And that's the same case with the other person as well. But remember, both the persons have the same city. Now, if you go back and look at the person data, both the persons have the same city. So that attribute, right? No, city is common to both the persons. Now that's connected to both the persons, and both of them have made a call to each other. Now, if you come down right, you will be able to see A has called B. Sorry, A has called C, and C has also called A, and this is the value for the when the call started and how long the call went. So if you see right now, we have the details of both the individuals, and both the individuals have are clients for two companies, and they have each 5 attributes, and both of them have the same city. So the city is connected to the city attribute is connected to both the person individuals, and they have made a calls to each other. So that's what the relationship we have, and both the calls have attributes and the duration. So we are able to see that right now with this approach, right, we are able to easily generate. In fact, we can use the approach that I have used for generated calls as well as the generate customer person for insert generating the script for the entities as well. Though it could be a little tricky, right? Now, remember why the reason why I have taken this approach with the TypeDB loader, right? You know to generate all the files together and load all the files together. Coming from an ETL background, right? I prefer to do it file by file, and it would be a lot more easier for me. If I am able to get the errors more easily. Now, with this approach, right? You are looking at the generated script, and you will be able to see what the error is more quickly, more quickly. However, right, this alone will not be enough. Let me see if I can provide a UI to this utility so that, right, you need not define the classes. You can simply pick up your input file, and right now, in the GUI, you will be able to assign the various columns that are present in the input file to what are the various entities and what are the relationships and generate the script. Of course, that's a little away. Maybe I can generate the UI for the TypeDB loader existing tool itself. So let us see how we can make progress. But as of now, I would like to present this approach, which you can use for generating the scripts for loading data into TypeDB based on the various input files that you have. The link to the source code is also provided along with this tutorial. Good luck. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Appreciate it.